Suzuki have garnered a really big following, and it's mostly because they always offered individuality as well as plenty of equipment. They also offered customers something that seems so simple and yet eludes lots of dealerships, which is customer care. And it's for this simple reason why many of their customers keep coming back. And now here we are with the most recent Vitara. Updated to include hybrid technology, it must compete against Ford's Puma and Volkswagen's T-Cross and T-Roc. The hybrid auto claims decent fuel consumption figures, unless you get the four-wheel drive version, which adds weight and CO2. The Vitara Hybrid has a new 1.5 litre petrol engine and a 33 brake horsepower electric motor. The regenerative braking tech, as well as the battery, adds to energy savings too. And while the battery isn't the most powerful, it adds to the feeling of a smooth sailing, as long as you feather the throttle. Another thing that Suzuki fans look for is the all-grip four-wheel drive system, and it's still available. Even with that extra weight on board, it's still only 1,275 kilograms, which means it's light, and with a high driving position, it feels steady on the road. It feels agile without being too dynamic, but what it really feels good at is its usability. There's great passenger space available up front, and it's got a decent amount of storage and some tech available. The driver's seat is comfortable, although there's no adjustable lumbar support or electric seat adjustment. The controls are easily accessed and intelligently laid out, with physical buttons and dials for aircon, but they haven't changed the design enough to move it on in this generation against the competition. It might just look a little dated. This full hybrid Vitara features Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's got LED headlights, climate control, loads of safety kit, a rear camera, touchscreens with built-in nav and 17-inch alloys. You've got a USB port and 12-volt socket right next to the cup holders. They may be positioned a little awkwardly though, and they could do with better placement. You get a rear view camera as standard, but you need to upgrade to get parking sensors. The rear bench can comfortably fit 2 adults and perhaps a small child for minimum journeys that don't require luggage for all passengers. However, when you do need extra space, the seats split folds 60-40 and it opens up a lot more luggage space, but at 289 litres it could do with just a bit more. The backrests are light, making them easy to raise and lower via the levers on the seat shoulders, so you can access the boot easily. The interior is mainly gloss black plastics, with the suede seats on the SZT model upping the quality feel. The materials lower down on the doors, they're all hard wearing, and they'll take a scuff or two without damaging any high quality textiles. The Vitara's handling is decent, and it rarely gets unsettled. It doesn't quite glide over big potholes, but rather it dulls the impact. The hybrid version adds an extra 40 kgs, but it has little effect on how the car handles. The steering is light, and this makes less for dynamic driving and more for ease of parking. When gently accelerating, the engine is smooth and reasonably silent until pushed hard when it makes its presence known. The full hybrid has slow gear changes, and you'll definitely notice as the Vitara changes gears. There are paddles behind the steering wheel if you feel like changing manually, but it's not that sporty an engine to warrant their use. The hybrid can actually power itself for a short while on electricity alone. The electric motor and petrol engine combined only build a total of 113 brake horsepower, which means a slow 0 to 100 km an hour of just 12 seconds. All Vitaras get a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system, and you can hook up your mobile device via USB port or smartphone link, and this lets you mirror your smartphone on the screen using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Some trims add sat-nav and an upgraded stereo system. The touchscreen, while easy to use, is a little slow to respond. Instead of physical buttons or dials, there are touch-sensitive pads for volume adjustment and other frequently used functions. While the Vitara isn't screaming luxury on the inside, the interior does feel extremely durable and hard-wearing. There are gloss black plastics along the fascia, and the suede seat fabric on the SCT models look and feel good too. The thing is, it's very much made to be brought everywhere, from the shopping centre car park to the hills, mountains and beaches for those weekend adventures, without you worrying too much about it. It's going to get the job done admirably, and you won't worry too much about the amount of sand in the boot.